Boss.
He was on Lion
Oh
King. He
yeah,
was stuck in the
Spaceballs.
rib cage. Y'all are old. What is Spaceballs?
It's
I'll show
a
them to you.
Star Wars parody.
No, I know what it is, but it's old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Rick Moranis in it. The
87.
God. It's got the God,
87.
Rick Moranis in it.
Rick
Yeah,
Moranis is a
that
little
tripped me out.
person, yes? No.
No,
Yes.
that tripped me out. When it was
Yes.
like a deep ass voice, and then they go to see who it is, and it's the princess.
All right.
All
All right, guys.
All right, I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to episode 181 of the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and returning from her prior booking in Parts Unknown, it's none other than Miss Didi Jonay.
Hi, friend.
What's going on, friend? How are you?
I'm wonderful. I told Solomon where I was. Do you
Oh,
want to know where I was?
if you want to tell the whole wide internet, then
Yeah,
sure.
sure. I was at a conference. I was at a conference where they teach you to be the best heel you can be.
Hashtag kill life supreme.
Yes, very bad.
Yes. Before we move on to our other guests, what'd you think of WrestleMania right quick? You didn't get a chance to
Yeah, I
thumbs
was
up,
sad that
thumbs
I was
down.
sad that I missed it. I would say thumbs down just because you can't have me on the hook for 7 hours and think you're gonna like you have to give me 7 hours of NXT level if you're gonna give me 7 hours of anything, because that's just too much.
All right.
And I was happy Mr. Cena lost, and I was very sad that Charlotte won. I loved how, what's her name? Carmella won her title the next week, and that's about it. Oh, and then Ember Moon debuted, and I stand out. Who else? Who else did I stand? Oh, no way, Jose, because his hair is goals.
All right.
But
Glad
yeah.
that you're back.
Oh, wait. And Naomi's win was iconic.
Oh,
Because
yes.
I
everybody
missed
thought
it.
Bailey won. Everybody thought Bailey won because, it's what happens. You get thrown under the rope and you just stay on the outside. And so everybody was focused on Sasha and Bailey. And that camera move was sweet, too, because they don't always do good with camera angles. That was a good one.
See, I didn't even know what
good.
happened. I thought she had like pulled a Jerry Lawler and hid under the ring or something.
She was just on the side.
She was just
She
like
got
hanging on the
thrown.
side.
Yeah, she got thrown out, but she didn't get thrown out over the top rope. So she got thrown out, and she just stayed out,
Yeah,
which I've
the
always
pizza
thought was a
man
very
came.
smart thing to do personally. So I wasn't
The
mad
pizza
at
man
it.
came just at the moment that Bailey threw Sasha out. So I was like, oh, okay.
Mm.
I come
Well,
back and
pizza
like
matters.
they're playing Naomi's music, and I'm like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, pizza matters for sure.
Joining us once again this week for the Rawcast report, Samuel Kalunga. What's going on, Sam?
Oh, hello, friends. How are you?
Good, man. Official introduction. And our special guest tonight, we have Mr. Jeff J. You can find him on Twitter at Jeff J Says. He's one of the hosts of the Fan Bro Show. He's a panelist on Grapevine, and he's the host of Nonstop Culture. What's going on, Jeff?
What's the deal, brother? How are you?
We're good, man. We're glad that you could join us here tonight on the WrassleCast, man.
Sir, glad to be here.
As all first-time guests here on the WrassleCast, we like to get a little bit of your origin story, kind of, what got you into wrestling, who are some of your favorites that you grew up watching, and some of your current favorites today.
Yeah, man. I've been a wrestling fan pretty much my whole life. I got into it as a kid, probably like 8 or 9 years old. My father watched it. My grandmother watched it. It was a staple in my household. As a youth, I was definitely a Hulkamaniac, probably pre-racism, maybe pre-knowledge of racism, but he was the gateway, one of my favorites as a kid. I liked him. I was a big stan for Mr. Perfect. Like, that dude was the epitome of athlete to me, and just the way he carried the IC title, and for me, at one point, that was the title in WWE or WWF at the time. So him, Mr. Perfect, those were some of my favorites growing up. And as I got into it and started expanding and watching more promotions. I was heavy into ECW in its heyday. As a kid, I wasn't really going out. I couldn't hit the town like that. So Saturday at 2 a.m., I was locked into ECW Saturday nights. So I was heavy RVD, Taz. Those were the Eliminators. Some of the teams I liked, and that's been it. And I've had periods where I've been on and off, but for the most part, my wrestling love has been there.
All right, man, that's cool. So you grew up like mostly in the Northeast? Is that what I'm assuming?
I'm from New York, born and raised.
All right, yeah. So not much like WCW or any of that stuff until much later, huh?
Oh no. WCW was heavy. The Saturday mornings, TNT, TBS. I think it was the Super Station or whatever. But yeah, I was heavy. So I wasn't one of those people who picked either or. I remember watching it and saying, telling people, y'all not watching this WCW shit. This shit is lit. Like with Sting. I felt like Sting and Flair were fighting for some title every week. It felt like at one point. Clash of the Champions was ridiculous. I watched everything. I watched shit. When Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, when that was popping, I was watching that too. So anywhere where I could get wrestling, I was watching. So I was watching all the promotions. I was knowledgeable about everything going on, which is why I love this era where, with the internet and with the way communication has evolved and become more sophisticated, we can see everything anytime, anywhere. And with the choices and the way it's been expanded, if whatever you like, you can find out there. And it's awesome. This is a golden age of wrestling.
Yes. Well, again, thank you for making some time out tonight to join us.
Yes,
You're on the WrassleCast. The WrassleCast is brought to you each and every week by the CSPN. You can find us on the web at www.cspn.us. You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and did I say iTunes? I'm just going to say it again. Give us 5-star reviews on iTunes. Rate, review, do all that good stuff. So, Sam, we're going to get into the news segment and then followed up by the Raw Report.
1 second. There's a hashtag I have to mute real quick. All right, we're good. All right. Okay, so do we start with the sad or do we start with the kind of chipper and okay?
It's your news report, man.
Okay.
So
everybody, get ready because Apollo Crews is back to using his full name. They were just calling him Apollo for a minute, but so it was back in February or so. So internal memos within WWE indicated that the name was changed due to having a similar name with Nicholas Cruz, the shooter behind the Parkland, Florida match. Oh, okay, that's why. And see, Cruz and the rest of Titus Worldwide came out last night to welcome Dolph Ziggler. Blah, 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 blah. We're not getting into that. That's for DD's territory. Or is that wrong? I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. Okay, so Glow's second season will be premiering on Netflix in June. So who's excited about that? Raise your little hand.
My hand's up.
So it doesn't say if everybody's coming back or not.
Oh yeah, I think mostly everybody's coming back. Cherry's gonna be in it for sure. So yeah, that's all I care about.
So yeah, let's see here. Now for some sad news, a little bit of sad news that happened actually today around 6 o'clock. Not sure what coast, but the number one Paul Jones has passed away at the age of 75. If anybody ever watched like NWA back in the day, they know the name Paul Jones. Number one Paul Jones. He managed some of the greats.
He managed the awesome twosome when they were the NWA champions.
Oh yeah, the twosome, yeah.
Yeah, Manny Fernandez and a young ravishing Rick Rude. He was like one of the first television champions in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling as well. Yeah, he was a big deal back in the like 70s, early 80s, but definitely all through the 70s.
Oh yeah, he's also managed Ivan Koloff, The Powers of Pain, Billy Graham, a few others. So yeah, he retired in '91 and opened up a body shop. Wow. Yeah, at least he didn't stick around like way past the expiration there. I always wonder why I didn't see him past a certain year, and I just now know why. So, other sad news: Bruno Sammartino, the legend, 82-year-old legend, passed away. Don, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, the longest running WWF champion in history, famous for selling out Madison Square Garden. It depends on what number you believe, but it's well over 100 times in a row. Probably the biggest star in the New York area during the 60s and early 70s, especially when the sports teams in New York weren't really doing that well. The pillar probably of which the modern WWF is built upon is Bruno Sammartino. He was before Hulk Hogan. He was, before Billy Graham. He was basically the biggest thing to a whole, the biggest population centers in the country in the 60s and 70s. So just like you said, the legend, and, basically the whole pillar, like I said, that WWF and WWF is built on. So, even when he was like old and phased out, you kind of knew he was a big deal. Even when he was older or only wrestle sometimes or just come out and do commentary, just the way that everybody would stand up and cheer for him. It was just like, this old dude is somebody, even as a young kid, you could just feel it. It just came through the TV. So yeah, definitely a big blow. He's like for sure one of the legends of the game.
Yeah, right. Alrighty, that's it for the news. Anybody got anything else to add? I know Dee Dee's over there chomping at the bit.
Oh, yes, we have some other news that Rusev will now be added back into the casket match versus The Undertaker at the Greatest Royal Rumble. That is next Friday at noon. If you're going to be watching that live, I'm just going to say the hashtag is Rumblecast the Great. No, Rumblecast the Great, because it's, like Juvie the Great, but Rumblecast the Great. And just whenever you're watching it, just use the hashtag, because it's going to be too hard to have people wait till wait till 4:00 in the afternoon to watch this. So,
right.
And then on the juicier side, Miss Dee Dee Jonay, we need to bring you in here. There was some news that broke that Nikki Bella and John Cena have decided to end their relationship. The marriage is off. There will be no wedding bells. There will be no WrestleMania grand extravaganza between these two.
I speak on behalf of everybody in the gorgeous ladies of the WrassleCast crew when we say no way. I'm so shocked. Who could have seen it coming?
Much surprise.
Who would have known? Let me show you my shocked face. It looks like my regular face, by the way. Like, here's the thing. When you have to... Well, okay, so when a man says, I don't want to get married, boom, right? Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. And then year 5, he don't want to get married, but y'all get engaged. That's a bad sign. That's a real bad sign. So nobody's surprised. And then I don't like that it just seems like all these lies are coming out. Like all of a sudden now they were getting married on Cinco de Mayo. How y'all was getting married on Cinco de Mayo and nobody ever said nothing?
They never announced it or nothing.
It was never announced, but all of a sudden now that they done broke up, they were getting married on Cinco de Mayo. That's like 2 weeks away.
I'm sure Dee Dee has it on her calendar.
I do. It's a Saturday. Anyway.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah, it's the same day as something. What's the one where you do mint juleps?
Oh, Kentucky
Kentucky.
Derby.
Yeah, that's the same day.
Oh, that's the same day.
Saturday.
It's the same day.
Oh, the
It's the
first
same day.
Saturday in May.
Mm-hmm.
That is like a combination of drunkenness supreme right there.
Yeah, my friend was like, so people gonna have to choose: are we doing mint juleps? Are we doing margaritas?
You're gonna be seeing
What?
people wearing all these
Seersucker.
funny
Yeah.
hats and suits, drinking margaritas and Coronas, trying to like be a part of both.
Look, I'm gonna be outside getting chose because I love me a man in seersucker. I can't help it. I love it. It is the best thing to me.
Go there and drink you a marga julep. Just
That
combine
could
them.
that could be a thing.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks, I invented it.
Because somebody told me a mint julep is just a mojito with whiskey or bourbon, and a margarita is.
How's that 12-step coming? The 12-step thing coming for you?
I
Hey,
wouldn't know. I haven't.
ready,
What's step 0? I'm there.
doing that. So yeah, so unfortunately we won't get our finished product. We won't be any little Cena babies running around anytime soon. So
There was never gonna be no Cena babies. He said he didn't want no kids neither.
stay tuned to Total Divas, the upcoming
I saw
season
this
for
thing
all the
online. It
details.
said something like,
Dolph has a chance after all.
"Oh my god! Have you seen that video they've been posting where like Dolph cashes in on John
Oh, of
for
course.
Nikki?"
She doesn't deserve him.
Oh god!
Oh, God.
Did you see that other thing? I saw something just browsing online. It said something like that Brie will always consider him a brother.
Oh please.
John
She mu-
Cena
she
or
must have
Dolph
borrowed some
Ziggler?
money from him.
John Cena.
She
Oh,
must have
yeah.
borrowed some money and they trying to pay it back. We family. That's how family do.
God. Okay, so from bad to worse. This is Monday Night Raw. Are you guys ready?
We're locked in. Let's do it.
Okay. Alrighty. Kurt Angle comes down to cut a boring 20-minute promo. And he gets on the mic and welcomes us to the show. Reminds us that the Superstar Shakedown is tonight and tomorrow. And then Sunil Singh comes down and introduces his boy Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal wants to know why he didn't arrive in a full motorcade. And then he said he wants the same treatment as Brock Lesnar. He wants the same perks. And Kurt wants him to email his demands instead of having it out there. And he gives him his email address, kurt.angle@nofreakinway.com, which I don't think that's right. So Kurt wants to settle in the ring and he demands that Mahal prove it. Jinder is all for it. And Angle asks who wants to prove Mahal wrong, and he makes it a title match. Of course, Jinder is is completely sorrowful. And Jeff Hardy, brother Nero, comes down and accepts the challenge. So we kick off the show with a title match, Jeff Hardy and Jinder Mahal. And who do you think wins this one? I'll give you a hint.
That would be the guy with all the
He's
funny
from-
looking stuff in his hair.
He's from Cameron, North Carolina. He used to have eyes. He used to have eyes drawn on his eyes.
He did. Fucking weirdo. He sure did.
And he would walk around with his eyes closed so you could see his eyes on top of his eyes.
It's creepy.
Yeah. So yeah, new U.S. champion again. So it's funny because at Mania we were saying, oh, the I guess the gender experiment isn't over, and of course we have this.
Yep, one and done. That was not fun. Y'all know how I like Jinder because I like Jinder cutting those promos. He couldn't even get one of those good promos in.
Not in MAGA. Can't do it.
Yeah, no Raw, super MAGA. Jeff, what'd you think about that opening segment?
I was kind of glad that Hardy won because I figured he was definitely on the SmackDown list because it was either him or Seth, and I didn't know how they were going to do it, but once they gave him the belt, I said, okay, if it's not Seth, it's definitely Jeff Hardy, and why not? I don't know what Jinder's going to do on Raw now. Maybe he'll try to interject himself into the IC title. race. But I mean, I'm cool with it. You know, give Jeff Hardy the belt, and he's gonna have some stress over in SmackDown though, because SmackDown is basically its own promotion of just straight wrestling. So we'll see. That mid card IC title. If I had the IC title, I'd be stressed right now because all the greats are waiting. So we'll see.
Okay. After commercial, we get a recap of what we just saw because, of course, Raw is 3 hours long. Jinder Mahal rolls up on an interview, still angry. He says Mr. USA is running a conspiracy against him, and he wasn't ready to compete. But in Saudi Arabia, in 2 weeks, he's invoking his rematch clause and will restore glory to the title. And if Angle tries anything like that ever again, he'll find out exactly. And then No Way Jose comes in with his conga line. Round of applause. Pause for applause. Pause for applause. He laughs at Jinder and tells him to smile, and when life gets him down, he says, no way. Jose and Renee Young fiesta off together while Mahal just angry, mad. Bailey versus Sasha Banks. Stuff happens. Wrestle. Let's see here. So the match goes to a no contest, I guess, even though they didn't really announce it.
Unfortunately.
But then the Riot Squad comes down and beats them up. Because, of course, we can't have a definitive finish to this. We have to have some bullshit. And on commentary, they let us know that Roman Reigns will be here tonight. And after commercial, let's see here. Stuff happens. Authors of Pain versus, what do they call it? Beauty and the Man Beast? Is that a thing?
I don't think they still go by that, but yeah, we'll work with that tonight.
Let's see. More wrestling. Authors of Pain win by pinfall with the last chapter on Rhino. And I get a little hype for Miz TV. Miz welcomes us to the show and talks about how Jinder and the Riot Squad have already shook things up before introducing the newest member of the roster. What are you calling him, Didi? Cammy?
Cammy, yes.
So it's Kevin and Sammy, Cammy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So Cammy comes down. See here. All smiles. Miz says this is the finest collection of talent ever assembled in one place. Bigger and better than the NWO. More talented than the 92 Olympic Dream Team and their WWE's version of the Avengers. Let's see here. They don't have to answer to Shane, Paige, and together they're changing the landscape of WWE and reshaping Raw in their image. So then Kurt Angle comes down. Angle says, as far as he knows, Miz has no control around here. And Kurt does. Cammy had their shot last week and they both lost. Owen says, there's an email that was sent just a few minutes ago. Plans are changed. Sammy pulls a printout of the email out of his pockets and puts on his reading glasses.
His old man reading glasses.
Where do you fall on the reading glasses?
His iconic old man reading glasses.
Are you into this?
Am I? Yes, I am.
In light of recent events and Kurt's proclivity towards emotional decisions, they had no chance but to reevaluate his handling of Cammy. They prove they belong on Raw and let them walk away would be a mistake of epic proportions. The decision is overwritten and they get wrong contracts courtesy of, anybody want to guess? Anybody? Stephanie McMahon. Let's see. And of course, KO loses his mind, confirming that he means Kurt Angle's boss. And they're officially back on Raw with nothing Angle can do about it. Let's see, more stuff happens. More talking.
No, that's when he told them that the Miz that he was going to SmackDown because Daniel Bryan wanted him personally, and the Miz was like, "Okay, yeah, well, me and the Miz to rise, we're gonna rip up SmackDown," and then he was like, "Nah, they staying. You just going by yourself."
Well, I was getting to that, but thank you.
No problem.
So it's these 5 guys against Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Braun the Strowman, and a WWE superstar who's making his Raw debut. He tells Miz he's going to miss him and leaves. That creepy white noise happens again, and Bray and Matt are in their dark and light rooms next to each other. Matt knew Bray would come, and Wyatt declared it wonderful. The Broken Brilliance does the We Hear gimmick, and they blow out the lantern together, and we go to commercial. So what are we calling Bray and Matt? What's the name we're giving them?
Brat.
Brat.
No.
There you go.
May.
I like Brat.
Brat, May. Yeah.
All right, so Brat against the Revival in the Tag Team Eliminator Finals. Match, wrestle. Bray and Matt, Brat win by pinfall with an assistant twist of fate on Dash Wilder, earning the match at the Greatest Royal Rumble against the Bar for the vacant WWE Tag Team Championships. The Bar stare their opponents down from atop the announce tables, and more stuff, more commercials.
Oh, hold on, right quick. Hold on.
Right.
Didi, what do you think about that We Are the World commercial for the co-branded pay-per-view?
You already know I hated every fucking second of it.
I thought that was a good idea.
Who approved this? Nobody
Tell us
said
how you really
nothing.
feel, Didi.
Nobody was voting to say, really? Like, when I saw Alexa Bliss, like, giving it all her heart, I was like, this is nutty. Like, the least she could have did was been in character, like, this is some dumb shit while she
I'm talking about that stupid music video they played.
And then, like, Nia sitting up here body rolling to this trash-ass track. Got the Usos acting like they spitting hot fire. Like, no. Like, the last time they did this, it was a Snoop track. And they didn't even really go in like this. Like, if you just wanted them on lip sync, what's it called? Lip sync battle, you could just have them on lip sync battle the next time they go to LA. This shit was trash. It was awful.
Thank you for
It was embarrassing.
I tried to forget about this, but now you just brought it back.
I saw it twice. I saw it Monday and Tuesday. The shit was atrocious. And if I had to see it, y'all need to hear about it.
It's better than the stupid Page trailer.
Was it?
We had to, because I saw that 4 times.
Was it?
I saw that bullshit 4 times.
At least you got to see The Rock 4 times.
But The Rock is charismatic 4 times.
Right.
Like, what you mean? I had to see the Carmella do the Running Man twice. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
okay, that's worse.
Thank you.
God, okay. Mr. Jeff, are you still with us there? What are you?
Yeah, I'm in the building, man. I didn't really take it as
jump in, man. This is Shark Tank. You can't just wait to get tagged.
It's like Double Dutch. It's like Double Dutch.
That what it is? Okay. So I didn't take it as seriously. I mean, I saw it once and just it's like your parents making jokes, and it's like if my mom came up here and was talking about, yo, I saw this basketball game. It was lit. And like, all right, mom. All right. I get it. I'm out though. That's how I didn't watch it the second time. Like when it came over, it was jokes to me. I was just laughing at the shit, just how ridiculous it was. But I don't know who greenlit that. I get why the talent did it because checks. But yeah. I mean, I would say it didn't leave a indelible negative mark on my soul, but you know what I mean, like it was just it's dad joke WWE back, you know what I'm saying? So
okay, so back from commercial, the Bar are walking backstage, talking to themselves when they run into Breezango, the fashion police. They've been transferred to a new precinct, and so now I have to watch this bullshit now. Thank you, Don.
Whoa.
You hate everything.
You better watch your tongue about the fashion police, man.
You hate the fashion police.
Good stuff.
Hate Elias. Like, you hate everything that's
God,
good
I have to watch this crap. I mean, when it was on SmackDown, it was great.
Who said it's crap? What you talking? What do you like?
I have very limited time in my life. No, this was actually funny, though, but when they were doing weird, they were doing all that crap. It's just weird. It's like, what is this?
You know who you are? You're the old man who sits on the stoop and looks at the people like, what are you doing? You're stupid.
How do you hate Elias, though?
He hates everything that's good in life.
Elias, though?
I don't like the man. I mean, I'm not gonna throw rocks at him if I see him on the street.
I think you might.
I highly dislike his gimmick.
Yo,
It's the best
he
gimmick
would go
ever.
platinum if he released a song on
He
iTunes.
got a man bun in a kimono. Like, what you talking? He's everything.
So they asked if Sheamus has a permanent for the mohawk and the skirt.
Kill.
No, he called it a skirt. He said, "Are y'all wearing skirts?" I remember this.
I'm triggered when I hear that as a skirt because of he's always reminded me it's a kilt. So
And then Cesaro actually is like, "It's a kilt." Yeah, so he issues the citations for the kilt to boot, calling them. Oh, he called them dresses. Never mind. So the bar tears the tickets up. Let's see here. More bullshit recaps. Backstage, Ronda is talking to Kurt Angle about what an experience WrestleMania was for her and how much it was worth it. Kurt says she surprised a lot of people. More talking. So he has a surprise, meanwhile, and it's Natalya. Rousey's happy to see her and they hug. Apparently, they trained together, and Angle says Natty campaigned hard to come to Raw. Let's see. And then United Jax does commentary for the next match. See, Ember Moon versus Mickey James. Match. Ember hits the Eclipse, and she wins the match.
Mickey James does the best sell of the Eclipse.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about this. She like flipped she did like The Rock when The Rock took the stunner.
But she rolled like forward though. Yeah, it was real good.
Mickey James looked like she got hit with a Kamehameha after he got hit with the Eclipse. Like I was like, wow. Is this Smash Brothers? Like, did she get knocked off the screen? Like, it was perfect though. It was perfect.
Okay, so Cammy are in the locker room talking about their rocky start, but Sammy wants to focus on tonight's match, specifically Braun. Owens is concerned about the mystery partner, but Zayn wants to put it out of their heads. Kev says they could be walking into a lion's den. Is Ken Shamrock coming? They know they're going to be treated like that. They should have stayed on SmackDown. Miz rolls up to ask how Shane is, and the Canadians lose it on him. They want him to focus on tonight, not tomorrow, or at least on the Miz Taraj. Miz tells them to mourn tomorrow and focus today. He tells them the Miz Taraj because they're like sulking. They need to forget about Monsters Among Men and Mystery Men and remember what's important. This is his Raw finale, and they need to make it must-see. Let's see here. Back from commercial, Dolph Ziggler makes his entrance, gets on the mic, and says he's back on Raw. No, a lot of things are the same, like how he steals the show everywhere he goes. He's the best to ever walk the aisle. And he keeps talking, and then Titus Worldwide come down. Titus welcomes Dolph back and says a lot of things have changed, things that would include him creating Titus Worldwide. If you're looking to maximize your return, look no further than their team. And he gives him a business card. Promises that they'll conquer the world together, and Ziggler thanks him for loudly interrupting. Let's see, blah, blah. He throws the card at Titus, and Drew McIntyre, out of nowhere, blindsides Titus Worldwide, and poor Titus. That man can't win. So, yeah. And as everybody has pointed out online, 3MB is back on Raw.
Don't call it a comeback.
I saw this.
We
four
got
tweets in succession that I saw.
It's only a matter of time. We got Destiny's Child last weekend. We got 300 on Monday. It's only a matter of time, bro.
And then Paige Turner texted me, 3MB is back on Raw. I'm like, God, get out of here.
Why does Titus hand out cards? Like, you're not going to see him if he really wants to join Titus Worldwide? Like, you're not going to see him in catering?
Oh.
You're not going to see him on the bus? Like, you're not going to see him when y'all pull up to the hotel?
You're not going to see him tearing down the ring?
Right. Oh, my God.
Sir.
Still a reason they keep him around. I'm kidding. I like Titus. So
the
yeah,
the glow is gonna have a word with you this week. I see, sir.
No, I like Titus. It's just funny. Like they don't put this man on TV except to humiliate him. So I guess Dolph and Drew are a tag team or something.
What do you feel about this? How do you feel about Dolph off of your show onto this new one, and then Drew popping up out of nowhere?
I'm sad he's not on SmackDown, but No, it's fine. It's fine. I who would you want on Raw, Samuel? Nobody? Like
Just the empty
who do
arena.
you want? Who do you want? We're going to talk about it because I can't.
So should we do our own superstar shakedown?
I kind of want to because I just want to know who do you want on your show. You don't like nobody, but
I'll
anyway.
tell you one guy I do want. I want Joey
Cool.
Samoa on my team.
You can't have him.
Oh, yeah, he went to SmackDown, didn't he? I forgot. Oh, we haven't got to that yet. So
I mean, maybe
Reigns
he'll be like John Cena and
be a free agent.
Fucking bullshit. You can certainly have John Cena. Feel free.
Shut up.
Have him. Get
I remember
him.
a while back, Undertaker was a free agent, and he went back and forth.
How long ago was that?
Like 1,000 years ago.
Still a free.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
He's still.
I mean, if you don't show up to either one, it's about the show.
Does it count if you don't show up to either?
You know, I missed Raw and I missed SmackDown. I'm a free agent, like you know.
But he still got paid though. Come on.
Boom.
I see here. Roman comes out. He says he's here and Brock Lesnar isn't, and talks about Brock some more, and then Joey Samoa comes out and basically reads him his life. Like, look, you ain't shit. Your daddy ain't shit. Nobody in your family shit. I'm like, why are you here, Roman? God, Samoa Joe's great.
The funniest part is like he showed him video of somebody else whooping Roman's ass. Not even like I'm gonna come out here and show you how I whoop your ass. Let me just remind the crowd how Brock be whooping your ass. Hold on. Watch this. Jeff, what's your thoughts on Roman Reigns, man?
Shit, if I'm Roman, I'm happy Samoa Joe is going to SmackDown because that man was under pressure. That man was under pressure with that promo. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with him. They need to just at some point he's gonna get that title. I'd do it sooner rather than later because he got his ass whooped. Got his head busted wide open to take a pin. Orchestrated or not, I'd be sick. I'd be so sick. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. It seems apropos that they would make his title reign happen in Saudi Arabia, where the fans may be a little bit more favorable towards him. But unless they're trying to, I don't know why you keep Brock Lesnar around anymore at this point. I don't know if the spectacle outweighs the monetary benefit because you have a bunch of studs on the roster already. But yeah, Samoa Joe he's probably arguably the best promo in WWE, but definitely in the world.
He can take the words that they write for him and turn it into his own voice. Roman hasn't figured out how to do that yet. They probably write it for him.
I mean, maybe they give him an outline here. This is what we want you to talk about.
I'm pretty sure he gets it scripted, but I'm pretty sure what he does is he goes back and goes, I'll take out this word, I'll take out that word, I would say this, I would say that, and just kind of adds his own little word here or there. But it makes it his, where Roman, you can just tell it's just like, this is how Vince wrote it, and this is how I'm going to say it.
No, but back to what you were saying, Don, earlier about like Samoa Joe showing a video of somebody else whooping his ass.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like back in high school, there was this one dude, he was just a loudmouth dude that we always knew. And he was just, during lunchtime, he would just be hanging around. And one day, I don't know why this dude did this, but some dude just went up to him and just started whooping on him. It just like made him like, he made the dude like, he made him bleed and stuff. And so that blood was up underneath, somebody covered it up with like a carpet, with like a doormat or something. So every day when they go out there after that, his boys would pull back that carpet and show him his own blood. And I just thought that was hilarious. Like they were just being rude to him. Anyway, that reminded me of that.
Rude. Kids are so rude.
It was funny though. It's funny as fuck. Like that dude deserved every punch.
Do not condone violence here on the WrassleCast. Only the simulated kind.
So anyway, Absolution comes out. Mandy Rose versus Natalia. Stuff. Natalia wins by submission with the sharpshooter. Sonya Deville attacks from behind. Knee strikes in the clinch. Natalia crumbles and they beat her down. Ronda Rousey makes the save. Didi's favorite. Absolution runs forward and Ronda checks on Natty. Deville gets in the back end again and puts her hair up and squares up to Rousey. It's more stuff. Yeah. And all of a sudden I just fell asleep. And then I woke up and realized why. Because Baron Corbin, they showed a video package. So that's going to be great. Breezango versus The Bar. Breezango wins by pinfall. Wow. They're winning. The Bar's winning those titles back. I can tell by the way how everybody's just getting licks on them. Because at first it was Titus and them. Now it's Breezango. What do y'all think?
But they're on SmackDown now, so why would they win the Raw tag titles?
Oh, well, see, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
No one tells me these things.
So
they put
them on SmackDown. That's why we have the hashtag, sir. SmackDown matters, because you have to tune in to both shows.
SmackDown came up. Smack.
I have things going on in my life. I have things going on that I don't have time to
sit
and watch every show. Yeah, I really do.
Really?
Might as well be new SmackDown of Honor over there. Ring of SmackDown.
So some Elias bullshit.
Yo, you are so disrespectful.
So it's time for the main event. And the fifth man is Mr. Bobby Roode. And of course, JoJo makes a pretty good Bobby Roode announcement, which I'm always here for. I'm always for anybody doing the whole Bobby Roode. So the match happens. Stuff. So what happened here, Don? Did Mr. Raj kind of...
It breaks down to the, everybody does their finishing moves back to back to back. Then the Miz hits drop kicks onto Braun. Braun cuts him off with his own drop kick. Then Miz goes to make the tag, and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas jump off the ringside. They bail on him, and then Braun scoops the Miz up in a power slam, and Bobby Roode, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and Braun Strowman get the win.
So they just walk off. They just walk out on their boy.
Yeah, man. Miz is no longer part of the Raw, so he's no longer,
He's no longer their concern.
Right.
So what did y'all think of this show?
It wasn't as good as what we about to talk about in just a few minutes. But I got the full list of people who went from SmackDown to Raw. So we had Jinder with Sunil Singh. We had the Riot Squad. We had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. The Fashion Police, Natalya, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, The Ascension, Baron Corbin, Zack Ryder, Mike Kanellis, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Mojo Rawley.
The Ascension.
Mm-hmm. That was announced on Instagram.
Main event is about
God. Instagram.
Them house shows are gonna be fire. They got all the house show talent.
Chad Gable might have a chance to come up and do something because he can wrestle his ass off, and they need some guys who can wrestle on this show because they just got a bunch of big guys like Jinder and Baron, and I don't know about Drew McIntyre. He was doing okay in NXT, but I never really been like that, enthused with his wrestling ability. But they just got a bunch of really big guys on Raw right now. They need some kind of smaller guys who can go.
Well, Drew's improved a lot.
Yeah, when he was in Evolved, he was really good.
Since his last stint in WWE proper, he's improved a lot. And him and Dolph, that's one of the most interesting pairings that they have right now. Like that really injected interest into me for both characters. But I was interested in Drew when I wasn't the first time around, but pairing him with Dolph, that kind of raised my antennas. Like, oh, what we got going on here? So, that's going to be good. I think it's just going to be a war zone with all the big talent, like you said before, AOP's on there, Lashley's on there, Braun, Drew McIntyre. Like, it's like the land of the giants out there, but it fits the Raw model because Raw is supposed to be a spectacle. It is the entertainment in sports entertainment. This is like the institution, like the Tonight Show, like anything else that you have. Like, this is the crown jewel. So they're gonna have as much of a spectacle as possible. So it fits. It fits. Lashley's a wild card to me because TNA was like a blur, probably because my eyes were closed and I rarely watched it if a deletion wasn't going on. But he got better for the little thing I did see in TNA. But there's interesting things. The show itself was but there's interesting things going on Raw.
Right. Sam, anything else you like? Oh, we got to do our ratings. So, Sam, how many Sour Patch Kids for you this week?
Can I give a negative? Because that's pretty bad.
No, a zero. Zero Sour Patch Kids.
Not into this at all.
In the bag? Not even the sugar in the bag?
Oh God. No way. No, I just wasn't entertained by this at all.
All right. Jeff, your rating for Monday Night Raw?
What's it on a scale of?
We'll do 5. We'll keep it simple this week.
Who only eats 5 Sour Patch Kids, dog? Like, come on. I don't know that. My tingling right now thinking about it. I'd say 3.
All right.
Overall, I think they acquired some interesting talent. Some entertaining parts. It wasn't off the hook, but it was decent.
All right. Miss Didi Jonay, your rating?
I would definitely say 3 is correct.
Yeah, I'll go about that same rate, 2.75. Like, I bit into that one and didn't like it, so I was like,
just bucket.
Right.
It's yellow, the nasty yellow one.
So, Sam, are you gonna stick with us, or you gotta roll out?
Yeah, maybe for like about 15 minutes or so.
Okay, all right. So, Miss Didi Jonay, I'm gonna turn it over to you so you can tell us about SmackDown Matters.
Oh my God, things happened. They were in Providence, Rhode Island, which who even knew that was a thing? They have a Dunkin' Donuts Center, which I'm very happy that that's a thing. It starts off with The Miz. Psych. It starts off with AJ Styles. He comes through to kick things off. He says, you learn a lot about people through their failures. And now we know that Nakamura is not only an artist, he is a con artist. He says he wanted to celebrate with the fans, but all he could think about was getting retribution. He got the chance at a real dream match with Daniel, but Nakamura ruined that too. He says he's not leaving the ring until Nakamura comes out, and he may have forgotten how to speak English, because remember, Nakamura is lying about that. But he was here for a fight, and he called him a two-faced coward. Instead of Nakamura coming out, Aiden English and Rusev come out, and of course the crowd is here for Rusev Day. Aiden sings a song to let AJ know that Nakamura wasn't here, and he takes a shot at Rhode Island, because of course you do. He asks the crowd what day it is, and of course they say
Rusev Day.
Thank you so much. Then AJ challenges Rusev to a fight. Rusev accepts, and when do you think the match starts? Right now. Exactly. Exactly. So AJ almost immediately gets Rusev in the calf crusher, so Aiden has to interfere so that Rusev does not submit. That causes a DQ. They put the boots to AJ. Daniel Bryan runs out to make a save. That's that. In the back, Paige approaches Shane, wishes him a happy shakeup. She quotes Teddy Long and announces a tag match playa for the main event tonight.
Tag match or a straight up tag match?
Oh, I don't know. My notes say tag match.
And she was doing the little dance.
Oh God.
Y'all are down for the cheap pop, and I appreciate that in you.
Holla holla.
This sounds like hello. Anyway, Shane confirms the Miz will be returning to SmackDown because Daniel Bryan requested it. Paige and Shane each do the Teddy Long dance. Shelton comes out, and the announcers explain that Chad is gone to Raw, so he is no longer a tag team, wrestler. Benjamin acknowledges his tweet about Gable being an inspirational partner, but he claims his Twitter account was what? Hacked. Heel tactics. He says he doesn't need Chad Gable. Chad Gable needed him. He says he's owed championship matches. He calls himself one of the biggest stars on SmackDown. He says he asked Paige earlier, and he said he asked Paige earlier for some competition, and she said sure. So Randy Orton's music hits, and All Lives comes down down the ramp. As he's making his way, his music is interrupted by what? Jeff Hardy's music. Fuck your feelings, all loud, and we got Jeff Hardy, bitch. What? Listen, anytime Randy Orton gets embarrassed, like it makes me happy. And I got Jeff Hardy.
That All Lives hit instead of All Eyes hit. That would make sense.
Sometimes I don't enunciate. It's the alcohol.
Of course it is.
So yeah, there's a match between U.S. champion Jeff Hardy and Shelton Benjamin. Again, to note, we have Jeff Hardy. He wins with the Swanton Bomb. That's all you really need to know. The last time these two wrestled was over 9 years ago, also on SmackDown. The Miz got the selfie promo, and he's like asking the crowd if they want to see Daniel Bryan punch him in the face tonight. He's like, well, that's too bad because he's not in whack-ass Providence. He's in Los Angeles with Maurice and his daughter. He said he's going to debut next week because he's too good to share his debut with everybody else, essentially. And he is going to kick Daniel Bryan's ass. Well, he says ass. And before he can finish it, Maurice cuts him off and is like, watch your language around the baby. Thank you so much.
Mama Maurice was looking good.
It's amazing what can happen in a year. You can have a whole baby. Your engagement can be called off.
Now, Dee Dee.
Crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, they announced a celebration for Carmella later on, and they also announced that Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose have been added to SmackDown. So they're not called Ascension.
Absolutely.
Aggravation? Absolution. I know it's starting with the name. Thank you. It's good, right? Absolution is now on SmackDown altogether. We'll see how that works now that one of them is a GM commissioner? GM. Now that one of them is a GM. So next is Luke Harper, although he was originally called Harper in the graphic, versus Jey Uso, not Jimmy. Or Jimmy.
Can you tell them apart now?
Huh?
Can you tell them apart now?
Sure.
Because I know at one point you couldn't.
Yeah, but then one of them got fat. It's been easier ever since.
Okay.
And now their haircuts are different.
Yeah, Jay has the beard.
Yeah.
Jay has the beard cut like Tama Tonga too. He has the like kind of triangle looking beard now.
And Jay always has the grills in.
Yes. Jay's the thug one.
Oh my God.
Jimmy's the one who's always on the mic. Jay is the one who just looks like
the taper.
I had a 40 in the back. Yeah.
Jay has
their hair is different.
He has the gold front, and it's almost like he evolves into once they went to the penitentiary. It was like he kept evolving. It's like he's like a
to a black man. Yeah.
Auto when you could create your character. It's like he had a new tattoo. He had fronts. He had grills.
Ethnic, real ethnic.
They on the black side of Samoa.
Right? I need them to do a 23andMe because I want to know what's really going on in that island. Some of them just look a little too black. I just want to know. I don't know why I think everybody black.
Well, you think the Briscoes are? Well, the Briscoes might be.
The Briscoes are fucking black. I don't care what nobody say. Fucking from Delaware. Yo, black asses. Okay. But I digress. Jimmy and Ron get involved on the outside, and the match ends quickly after Luke hits Jay with a discus clothesline for the win. Eric puts his hand on Jay during the match, but it's not a DQ, so it doesn't matter. The Usos try to fight back after the match, but Eric and Luke lay them out. They're about to do worse, but Naomi runs out really soft, and she's like, no. And so they don't. And they leave. And then things happen on Twitter either that night or the next day.
Oh yeah, Luke Harper out here trolling.
Tell them what they said.
He told them, go have a good night with Trin.
Trin. Not Naomi. Not Trinity, her real name. Trin.
Luke
Like we
Harper
know
is
her.
gold on Twitter, and he doesn't say too much. Like he's low key gold.
Mm. That's so hurtful. Don't call my wife by her that's not your nickname. Listen.
I thought it was Menace to Society the way she was acting. Like
Jimmy need to go on and get his own mallet and go about them kneecaps. Cause how dare you call Naomi Trin? Like, what? What? But anyway. Noted. Samoa Joe's on SmackDown. Y'all lost. Nobody likes Raw no more. Who y'all got?
no one else.
Y'all got Seth and Finn and Bobby Roode.
They got Roman. They got Braun.
Roman don't count. Braun matters.
Brock Lesnar.
They got Elias.
No. Nobody really has Brock Lesnar. That nigga don't be around.
Stable doing that damn farm.
I mean, maybe he's on the media tour for Rampage. Maybe that's why he's not around. But anyway,
they got Elias. They got
Elias. We could have had Elias. That would have been great.
Let's see who else they got. That's really about it that you would really care about.
Kimonos and guitars. Yeah. Y'all got good girls though.
Zane Owen.
Yeah. So maybe it's not so bad. It just seems really bad. Like
they got the power.
I feel like the switch just didn't look even, but we'll get there. So Samoa Joe is fighting Sin Cara. We're assuming this is Sin Cara. Well, here's the thing: in-ring Sin Cara is not locker room Sin Cara. So
right, locker room Sin Cara is undefeated.
Right.
Big, small, tall, don't matter.
Whoop that ass Sin Cara. But this is in-ring Sin Cara.
This would have been a whole different match if this would have took place at catering, right?
But in-ring Sin Cara loses via the coquina clutch. After the match, Joe says his mere absence on the show means everyone has had it easy, and everyone on the roster is convinced that they're actually better than they are. He said he now has the opportunity to put Daniel Bryan to sleep, to defang the Viper, Randy Orton, and decimate AJ Styles. And can I just say, if he whoops Randy Orton's ass, I would be so happy. It would just be like, ding, like the end of a rainbow. But Samoa Joe says Brock Lesnar will beat Roman again, and Joe will put the big dog out to pasture for good. Joe then says something about winning the IC title and the Universal title if perchance, by miracle, Roman can beat Brock. So there's that.
He kind of got a little, well, I don't think he made it clear because like they're having this like 7-man ladder match. Like we're going to have to squeeze this review in really fast next week for this match. Just like a really huge card, but having like a 7-man ladder match for the IC title. So he's saying he's going to win that.
Overseas?
He's going to win that match, bring the IC title to SmackDown. Then if Roman beats Brock at Backlash, he's going to beat Roman and bring the Universal title to SmackDown too, is what he was trying to say.
Yeah, it sounded like...
So what they're saying is when it comes to those pay-per-views, they're going to be like, enter...
Yes, together, interpromotional, whatever you want to say.
Right. I know it's an interpromotional pay-per-view, but they're saying they're going to have interpromotional matches?
Maybe in some circumstances they might at Backlash because it's the first one, and they set up all these matches from the guys being on Raw that now they have to pay off even though they moved over to SmackDown.
That makes sense. I just wonder who I have to petition to finally get a women's tag team title. I don't know. Do I need to like start a change.org petition? Like what? How many signatures do I need?
You do that. You need 1,000.
What is the holdup? They have about 80 girls. I ain't got shit for them to do. But fight Nia Well, Carmella has the title, so maybe that's something. Anyway, Sanity is coming to SmackDown. I don't know who that is besides Eric Young, but I know they're from NXT. Are we happy about it? Do we care?
Yeah,
Hell,
Killian Dana is gonna be the shit.
Yeah.
they're gonna rep. They need to have Nikki Cross with them. They're gonna have to clear that up if they're coming up with or without her. Because if they're
The
not,
picture had 3 of them.
Without,
I know, that's fucking stupid. Like she's the heart of Sanity. She's the heart. Like if you want my power rankings of if I'm fighting Sanity, who I'm worrying about, her and Killian Dane are 1 and 1A. Her and Killian Dane are 1 and 1A. Just because he would be in ring, I'd take Killian Dane, then her, then Eric Young, then her brother. Remember,
here's what I think: they gotta have somebody bad enough, crazy enough to beat Shayna, and there's only one person who's that person in NXT, and it's Nikki Cross. So I think that's what that's going to build up to.
So you think? I mean, yeah, that's true. What I had said earlier was, I'm saying earlier, like I was talking to y'all like yesterday. I was talking to people in my job, a bunch of marks work in my job. Shout out to all the marks. I was saying it would be cool for her character if she just goes ballistic because they went up to SmackDown and she couldn't go. Like she's tearing NXT apart, trying to find her way to SmackDown to join her team. So she basically gets caught in that. It was like, okay, if I win the title, maybe I can take it to Smack. Like she's trying to find a way out. It's almost like literally set insanity. You know what I mean? But she has to make her way up there. I'm sorry. She got to do dual duty or whatever. Something. Like after the NXT Chicago, if they're not going to put the belt on her, she got to go, man. She got to go up there with them. She has to.
I think she's going to get a shot at the title, but I think she's going to get a little bit. But see, this is what they do. They didn't bring Carmella up when they brought Enzo and Cass.
Yeah,
it kind of worked out in her favor, actually. So
right, but
a little bit more seasoning.
Who was more integral to the team though? Like Carmella was like, she was a part of them, but it almost felt like she was an ancillary part as opposed to Nikki Cross. Like Nikki Cross, she's like the 4th Sanity.
Right, you're right.
Insanity. I don't know. I stand for her. So
okay, Miss CD, we went off on the NXT tangent. Get back to
no, it's fine. We enjoy the NXT moments. Renee Young asked Daniel why he helped AJ. He says he respects AJ, and he's on the list of guys who motivated him to come back. He wants to prove he hasn't lost a step, but Nakamura ruined that last week during their match. Daniel says he knows he's going to get a chance at AJ one day. Big Cass comes back. Ow, ow. And isn't that a brand switch? Because wasn't he on Raw?
Yeah, he was.
Yep. Mocks Daniel Bryan's height and wonders what all the... He mocked the... He is a good, 1.5 taller than him.
Now, this is how cruel Vince McMahon is, right? Okay, so when Enzo and Cass first got moved up or whatever, Carmella and Cass were dating.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, of course, Big Cass got hurt. He's been gone for almost a whole year. Yes. They're not dating no more. And what's the first thing that happened? They both end up on the same show.
Oh, they broke up?
See, I didn't know that either. Somebody told me on Tuesday.
Damn, Doc, you got all the tea, bro. Like, why are you holding it back? I didn't even know that shit.
Yeah, man, you gotta have one foot in the smarts, and you gotta have one foot in the tabloids.
Yeah, I don't try to get too salacious with all the rumors and shit, but I do be wanting to know though. I'm like,
salacious.
It's like I'm the one that's like, y'all don't really try to get their business, and I hit you with the text, yo, but they broke up though. How did? What happened? Oh, damn.
You be like, I ain't even need to know all that, but what happened?
Right. I'm like, I'm like, man, I don't know why people got to be in everybody's business. Then I hit you with the DM, but what happened though?
Why he mad though?
Damn, he be wilding.
Okay. Celebration happens. The crowd chants, "You deserve it" for Carmella. She shuts them up for jumping on the bandwagon. Basically, back then y'all didn't want me. Now I'm hot.
They
don't want me.
all own me.
I said.
Yeah. She brags about beating Charlotte. She calls her one of the greatest women wrestlers in history. The fans cheer. She tells them to shut up. She says last week wasn't just one of the biggest moments in history of the women's evolution, but in women's history altogether. They have a video package for her win. She says she's going to miss Frankie. That's the briefcase. But is happy to have Cleopatra. That's the belt. So the belt's a black woman. Or a Greek, depending on whose history you believe. Cool. She continues yelling until Charlotte interrupts. She said Carmella only has the briefcase because, and I quote, that chinless freak helped her. And she only has the title because of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Charlotte wasn't mad because she knows the dirtiest player in the game and congratulates Carmella for capitalizing on the opportunity, but tells her staying at the top is harder than getting to the top. The Iconics, or the Iconic Duo, whoever you call them, interrupts. They do a Charlotte impression. They say last week will last forever because it was all about them. They call the future iconic. Charlotte goes to beat them up, but 2-on-1 is 2-on-1. Becky runs out to make the save. They go to commercial. They come back from commercial, and we have a match. Not a tag match. I'm sure you're shocked. It's Charlotte versus Billie Kay. Becky and Peyton are in the respective corners. Charlotte wins with a figure 8. It's wonderful. After the match, Carmella starts the attack on Charlotte and Lynch until who comes out to make the save? What? Asuka. Asuka don't really even run out. Asuka's still doing her damn pose and dance, giving her little foreign wiggle. I live. But she does eventually come for the save. She gives Peyton a German suplex. Billie receives a kick from Becky and a shot from Charlotte, and then a high kick from Asuka.
I was so nervous when she grabbed Peyton and German suplexed her. I was like, please don't break her.
Be scared. Be very scared.
Yes. You know, Peyton is my fave.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but I do like the Australians. So.
I found it funny they counted Asuka as a switch. I'm like, dude, she just wrestled for y'all title on your show, and she lost her streak. You think she gonna go back to Raw? I wouldn't.
It still counts.
You got
the paperwork still has to be signed.
I mean, yeah, I know. When they were like Asuka's, I'm like, all right, guys, all right, I get it, but you know,
I mean, theoretically, she could have taken the SmackDown title back to Raw, and that would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. Usually, but I wonder if they backdoor kayfabe it by saying if you win a world title, you have to stay on the show.
I don't know. They always could have gotten it back from her. Now that they're doing conjoined,
right? Because it's
pay-per-views. They could have won it that next month, but yeah.
Because it is the SmackDown Women's Tag title.
It is. So absolutely.
How could you put a Raw with the SmackDown Women? Like the Universal and the WWE, technically they could be on the same show because they're not tied directly to them. Like eventually they could flip them back and just make the Universal title blue.
Mm-hmm.
Now that would look sick.
All my wine is gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, we also have Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Goodest of the brothers.
Yay. Or something. Also, we have the bar.
Now, see, this is what I want. I know you like the bar as a
twerk. Mm-hmm.
But I need Cesaro to be like, Sheamus, you're holding me down, brother. and go solo so we can get some of these fire-ass matches. Cesaro,
well, I don't understand.
Bryan, Cesaro, AJ Styles.
Well, I don't understand with them and with the New Day truly, too, is if you're not tag champions, you should be able to have a singles match and still do tag shit. Like, the Bar are not champions at this particular moment. They put them in singles matches anyway. Like, why don't you put them in a singles match that matters? Like, the New Day end up being a 6-man tag, 8-man tag. Why don't you just... Kofi can go win something, I'm sure. These people ain't shit. Kofi is iconic. Big E is iconic. What?
If you give Carl Anderson a singles run, you see some shit.
Right.
Some shit like He could tear that whole division. Yeah, SmackDown could have its own G1 right now if they really wanted to. And it would be ridiculous. With the straight singles wrestlers that are on there right now, it would rival anything New Japan could put out right now as a G1, just SmackDown.
But they wouldn't book it as well as Gato does, though.
I hear you. I hear, and all respect to that. But I'm talking about talent for talent.
Oh yeah, they got it.
Booking, let's level the booking. Talent for talent, man. It's like Mark's Red Tree.
All right, Miss CD, continue.
All right, backstage, the New Day is walking. Big E is being carried by some Caucasian person. I don't know.
What?
He was on a piggyback ride.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was like, why you pick up his big ass? I'd have picked up Kofi. But anyway, Big E says Sheamus sucks. They run into R-Truth. R-Truth is on SmackDown. I don't know why, but sure. Truth is confronted by Ty Dillinger. They look like they don't like each other, but they love each other. They have their own handshake. They're excited. R-Truth announces that they're all together on Monday Night Raw. Xavier's like, dude, it's Tuesday and we're on SmackDown. And, the thing about R-Truth is he's an idiot savant. So he's like, my bad. And he says he will see them tomorrow.
That shit had me crying. I'm not even going to front. I busted out laughing when he said that because I got it immediately. They're like, he said, no, this isn't Raw. It's Tuesday. And he was like, okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow. So I'm like, yo, is he going to show up on NXT? What about it? I'm like, wait.
I'm telling you, he's a whole idiot. Like,
he's going to go to SmackDown on Wednesday thinking that it was Tuesday. But they told him it was SmackDown. Yo, I fuck with R-Truth, man. I still remember when he came out. When did he come out? He came out and announced himself in a match, and they were like, yo, you're not in the match. And he was like, I'm sorry.
It was like a ladder match or something during a pay-per-view or something.
Yeah, he did do that.
Yo, he came out like, yo, he was one of the members. He was like, yo, Truth. Nah, you're not in the match.
You weren't here last week, so you didn't hear my decree. But my decree is hashtag Big E for WWE Champ 2018.
It's long.
I don't know about 18, but eventually.
Some point, anytime.
I mean, we still got 7 months, 8 months.
Here's what I say: if they can put the belt on Jinder, they can put the belt on Big E.
See,
they could put a belt on him, somebody's belt.
I mean, he don't need.
No, he needs the belt.
A US
the belt.
The belt, not
he
just
had any belt
belt.
besides the tag belts?
I think he was Intercontinental Champion once or US Champion when he was running with AJ Lee and Dolph when he first came.
I saw the video when he punched her in the throat. And she just looked at it like, I liked it. I was like, I miss AJ.
Eat that shit like a champ.
She just kind of looked and he was like, shit. And she was like, it was fine.
She looked at him like, and?
Like, this is a regular Tuesday for me.
I put that.
I was like, yes.
I put that thing up because somebody was like, oh yeah, they need to have Drew McIntyre walk around and be Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard. I was like, oh, you mean like Big E used to do?
Right. So yeah, he did win. He won it. He's a one-time champ. And he was NXT champion.
Interesting.
But that was before NXT was even thought about the way it is now.
Right.
Cool. Next, we get Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. Boom, boom. We went somewhere. Boom, boom. We went somewhere. Boom, boom. We went somewhere. They do a recap of the roster moves. I don't have the list, but Nikki Cross was not included.
I got you when you finish.
Thank you. You can do it now. It fits.
Okay. The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Samoa Joe, Sanity consisting of Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane, Big Cass, Asuka, The Good Brothers, The Bar, R-Truth, and Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega. Please say the Zelina Vega.
Get money. I'm just saying, I think we did better than you all. Anywho, though, they talk about the greatest Royal Rumble show throughout. Like Don said earlier, Rusev versus Undertaker is now on. So now I guess I wonder what they're gonna do with Chris Jericho. Is he just gonna go in the biggest Royal Rumble match ever?
He might be in that ladder match, or he just might just be in the Royal
The
Rumble.
Royal Rumble match. Interesting. I cannot wait to see. Isn't it like 50 guys?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't wait to see who they get. Like, I'm sure
I think
Dwayne
it's
the
going to
Clown
be
will be
like
there.
it's going to be like 5 hours. So
what if it's like
be
two Cian Almases? Is that his name? No, two Sin Caras. That's what I meant.
Oh, Tuesday.
And then like
Back up.
Kalisto. Who else?
Junior is gonna be there.
Like,
Yeah,
what
Rey
if Stone
Mysterio
Cold Steve
Jr.
Austin is there?
No,
That man needs too bad. He ain't trying to go for nobody top.
but yeah, Rey Mysterio Jr. is going to be there though.
Cool. I'm excited about this. They're gonna get the British boys, maybe. This is interesting to me.
Yeah, probably.
We'll get there when we get there. Final match of the night is AJ and Daniel versus Rusev and Aiden. AJ goes for a calf crusher on Aiden. Brian tries a yes lock on Rusev, but both of them, the Rusev Day icons, escape the ring. Then the heels work over AJ. They say heels. I say faves. Work over AJ after a break. He hits the Pele kick on Aiden and makes the hot tag. Daniel runs wild on Rusev with fists, a running clothesline, and some drop kicks in the corner. He goes for the yes lock, but Aiden breaks it up. He sends him out of the ring. When I say he, I mean Brian. When I say him, I mean Aiden. And gives yes kicks to Rusev. Daniel Bryan nails Rusev with a running knee to set up the win, but Nakamura appears what? Out of nowhere. And gives AJ a low blow.
No speaking English.
It's great. Daniel realizes what happens, but when he turns around, Big Cass appears also out of nowhere and gives him a big boot to the face, and the referee calls for the bell. Essentially, there's a DQ. Excuse me, Nakamura backs up the ramp looking very proud of himself, and Cass poses over Daniel Bryan. Before the show ends, Renee's like, why would you do that? What are you doing? And Nakamura is essentially top 5 ever. He says, no speaking English. It's great. I'm a fan.
Now, Didi.
Yes.
Sam had me make a special request for your SmackDown rating.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So, in honor of your nickname that he asked for you, which is 3 sheets, how many sheets for SmackDown?
Out of 5?
Yes, ma'am.
4 sheets.
Oh, that's a little low because I gave it all 5.
Did you?
Yes.
I'm hard to impress.
Jeff, your rating for SmackDown?
I probably would give it 4.5 sheets because I really wanted Finn. I know. Like I wanted them to really tilt.
Finn would have almost been a bit too much, though.
No, I know. Once I saw Joe, I was like, "Oh, Finn can't come back." I'm like, "Yo, Finn, you can't come anymore." Nah, there's too many people in the party, bro. Like, the list is tight. But yeah, once I saw Joe, and then Almas, I said, "Oh nah, it's a wrap." But I wanted him. But I, for 4.5, 5 would flip a coin. The SmackDown is fire. It was fire. And it's gonna continue to be fire. Like I'm super. I was excited last year after the shakeup, but this. Man.
But if they're gonna do this, I like how they're gonna have like this kind of mini path between Daniel Bryan and The Miz to kind of stretch it out to maybe get it to SummerSlam. But if once they start heading that way, they gotta bring Talking Smack back. Got to.
Yeah, we need it.
The only way they can like really build it up,
and not just the pay-per-view Talking Smack. We need weekly, episodic Smack talk.
Right. That's the only thing about 205 Live. It basically took up that window of time that they used to use for for Talking Smack. That was perfect because people could the thing that Vince didn't like about it was people could just go on there and be themselves, and it wasn't scripted, and they didn't have to be all controlled. And that was what people liked about it. So you could get that fire ass promo between The Miz and Daniel Bryan. You could get Baron Corbin actually not be boring because he didn't have to worry about fucking up his lines. He could just go out there and be an asshole that he actually is.
You know, it wasn't so much Vince, because if Vince don't watch that shit, it was the production costs. Like once they started cutting back on pyro and cameras and shit, certain network stuff had to go. So they, for whatever reason, they chose Talking Smack as the one that had to go. So that's what was the catalyst behind it. But if you told me on the list what shit, Ride Along I would have rather got rid of Ride Along than, because it's not like I clamor for it, right? If I'm around and it's on, I'll pop it on, I'll watch. Yeah, I need to watch a lot more shit on that thing to get my full $9.99. But I would have kept Talking Smack. Like it was just, it just was the perfect supplement to SmackDown. Like Brian was on there talking about TNA, all that shit. Everything flew on Talking Smack. I still don't even know how much shoot work that whole Miz Bryan thing was. Like I feel like it was mostly work, but Brian turned him up to get him to react, and then at a moment, like he's like, "Yo, I'm trying to come back to wrestle. Watch this."
And then the Miz got real.
Yo, don't you walk away from me, Daniel. Yo, that was my quote for the whole year. Like somebody was talking about, don't you walk away from me. So indignant. That's a WWE's version of I was told by Apple Care.
So yeah, definitely. Hopefully they can bring Talking Smack back to build up Daniel Bryan. But yeah, SmackDown is the new ish. So hashtag SmackDown Matters will probably get a whole lot more eyes on that hashtag in the next few weeks, especially once they start getting into building these dream matches between Daniel Bryan and whoever. So looking forward to that. Didi, you won this round. So
what I win? Oh yeah, I win everything.
Take a bow.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I left my job incomplete in regards to who you got. Because 7 hours is just too fucking long. But
but I think I won though.
Well, I'll do it eventually, and we can know who won.
All right.
Because if we're just going off of thoughts, what I do know is that the chairman lost. I'm very sure of that. Very sure that that's the case. But yeah, I'll do it probably by the end of next week. We can have the official winner.
All right. It's getting warmer. The air is warming up in some places. In other places, spring is still playing hide and go seek with us. But once it does officially become warmer, please get some pretty cool tees from Busted Tees. Go through bustedtees.com and through cspn.us. Support the podcast, support the WrassleCast, and everybody here on the CSPN. Help keep the podcast free. Go to cspn.us, click on the menu tab, then go to where it says, support the podcast. Click on the Busted Tees tab, browse, buy a t-shirt, 2 or 3 or 4. Some of your purchase comes back to us to help keep the podcast free here each and every week on CSPN. So CSPN and Busted Tees, do it today. Run through NXT really quick. Johnny Wrestling and Candice LeRae were out. Johnny was basically, thanking everybody, saying he finally slayed the dragon that was Tommaso Ciampa. He doesn't have to be defined by him anymore. And he's moving on to, newer and bigger things. But first, there's some unfinished business. And Candice LeRae says that she will face Zelina Vega tonight. Then we have Ricochet in his first singles match versus Fabian Aichner. Well, Fabian Aichner tries to go up top and knock Ricochet off of the ropes. Ricochet knocks him down, and Ricochet hits the 630, and Ricochet gets the win. After the match, Ricochet does a promo. He says he's watched WWE stars make a name for themselves here. Now it's his turn, and he's here to prove out why he's the one and only Ricochet. We get an EC3 video package. Last week, we had a review of the War Raiders aka War Machine, debuting as they interrupted the match between Heavy Machinery and Sabatini and Moss. So this week we have the War Raiders versus the Metro Brothers. Bro tags into the ring. They hit Thor's hammer. They hit the knee strike by Rowe, followed by the Fallout, and the War Raiders get the win. The War Raiders is the dumbest name I've ever heard for a tag team. God, that sucks. Jesus. I know they probably couldn't get the name from Ring of Honor. I'm pretty sure they own the War Machine name, but goodness, they could have came up with something better.
They also have Heavy Machinery too, so that might have been a factor.
Right. Shayna Baszler, she attends a locker room meeting with the NXT women. She proclaims it's her locker room. She comes in all late, but she's like, who's going to do anything about it? She rips Ember's name off of her old locker. No one there is willing to step up to her or whatever. And Dakota Kai just kind of walks out of the room, and that angers Shayna Baszler. And then we just kind of leave out of that scene. We get a Kona Reeves video package. He's all got a new look, and he's debuting again in 2 weeks. We see Pete Dunne leaving the Performance Center. He says that he's going to return in a few weeks, and he promises to rip off Roderick Strong's head. Then we have Lars Sullivan versus Killian Dane in a no disqualification match. Killian Dane hits a Brennan crossbody through a table. Killian Dane gets a chair, and he lays it in on Sullivan in the corner. Dane looks to do the coast to coast, but Sullivan gets up and rises, and Killian Dane flies in, and Sullivan connects it, hits him with the chair shots. Sullivan then hits the freak accident into a pile of chairs, and Lars Sullivan gets the win. Hoss match supreme. These two big dudes were freaking going at it. Big spots for some big guys. That was a pretty fun match. Then we get a video package on the issues between Cien Almas and Vega and Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. Then we get the Undisputed Era. They're walking in the back. Roderick Strong's carrying the tag team titles. They brag about how all the gold is with the Undisputed Era. And then they do like a photo shoot, and they said they will be on NXT next week. Then our main event, Candice LeRae versus Zelina Vega. Candice LeRae heads up top and connects with the missile dropkick for a 2 count. Candice LeRae locks on the Gargano escape, and Johnny Gargano cuts off Cien Almas when he tries to interfere, and he locks in the Gargano escape, and Zelina Vega taps out. After the match, Johnny Grayson cuts a promo and says that they have taken care of Zelina Vega and Cien Almas, and then he challenges Aleister Black for the NXT title. Aleister Black comes out, and he says, next week, it's on. So next week, Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT title. That should be a lots of fun. I don't know who the crowd is going to be going for, but something's going to happen because I doubt we're going to get a clean finish to that match on TV. So look forward to that. And that was NXT for this week. So good episode. I enjoyed it. Anytime we get to see Ricochet wrestle, that's always a plus. Johnny wrestling too, it's always a plus. So, and Zelina Vega actually wrestled for the first time in like a long time, so that was good to see. So, cool episode of NXT. I'm not going to review it, but if you guys got like 15 minutes, check out the main event from 205 this week. It was Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik versus Akira Tozawa and Hideo Itami. Good stuff.
I didn't even see the match, and I knew Grand Metalik was the one that was holding you up. I'm like, is he thinking about Metalik?
Yeah, Grand Metalik. Yeah, that good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Check that out. Those 4 guys really get down. So, got like I said, just kind of go fast forward to the end of 205 and watch that main event. It's really good. You won't be disappointed. So at this point, we're going to open it up for shout outs and thank yous. So Jeff, we'll let you go first, brother. Thanks for being our guest tonight. Your thank yous and shout outs.
Well, thank you guys, first of all, for letting me on the show. Let me be a part of this. I always love talking about wrestling. So you already know I'm geeking out and whatnot. Yeah, shout out to y'all. Who else am I supposed to shout out? Just random people? Or?
Whoever you want, man. Shout out Fan Bros. Shout out,
My cousin them in Atlanta. I know y'all listening to this because y'all be checking everything, my Facebook, everything y'all be checking. So I know y'all are out there. But yeah, thank you once again for having me. Y'all can check me out. I'm on all social media at Jeff J Says. You could also check out the Fan Bros Show if you're into geek and nerd culture, anime, comics, video games, trending news discussion. We do that. Also, shout out to the Grapevine. We have a discussion, millennial roundtable against around the issues that matter to us and what we're talking about. So you can catch the Grapevine on YouTube and my YouTube channel, Nonstop Culture, where I do a little bit of everything. You can see my media journey from behind the scenes and with reviews. So that is about it from me.
All right, man. We appreciate you, like I said again, for joining us tonight. Miss Didi Jonet, your shout outs and thank yous.
Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who was on last week when I was at my Heal Life conference. Y'all held it down. I listened to it. Y'all were only a little over an hour. I was very proud of you. Yes, I was. Shout out to Sam, the one who hates everything. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Chairman. Shout out to Mel, because Mel always gets shout outs. Shout out to the ladies of Glow. Shout out to Nikki Bella and John Cena. Because, yeah, maybe now you won't live your life in a lie.
Oh, my God.
That's awful. Let me stop. Yeah, that's it.
All right. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Mel because she is 1 week away from taking over the world. She has worked 2 years for this day to come. So y'all go to universalfancon.com, support, get tickets. It's happening next weekend in Baltimore, the 27th through the 29th. There's still tickets available. The chairman's going to be there. Deasia Ali from Bad and Boozy is going to be there. We think Neil Carter and Felisa from our political show are going to be there. So you get a chance to, meet some of the podcasters from CSPN. And you'll also get a chance to maybe hug Mel if you, get there early enough and, get in the line. So again,
Mel gives good hugs too.
universalfancon.com for all your tickets and information. It's taking place next weekend in Baltimore, the 27th through the 29th. So a bunch of people, getting together that look like us, and they're going to be, celebrating and, having panels about things that interest us. So support. So proud of Mel. She's worked so hard for this to come together, and it's almost here. So I know she's working even harder getting these last few touches squared away. So good luck to her next week and everything that's going to go down in Baltimore. I'd like to give a shout out to the Glow. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who was in the Rawcast and SmackDown Matters. Give a shout out to everybody who discovered the podcast or the live tweets this week. Give a shout out to our guest tonight, Jeff. Give a shout out to Sam and Greg. Hopefully Greg's feeling a little bit better. Maybe he'll be back with us next week. Give a shout out to the chairman for all the work he's going to do with the parting promo. And give a shout out to everybody on the CSPN, all the podcasters and all the podcasts, all the work that you guys put in each and every week, providing the great content here for the network so consistently. So my hat's off to all you guys out there and ladies putting, content together for the podcast network. So on that note, for Samuel Kalunga, our Rawcast correspondent, for Miss Didi Jonet, my SmackDown Matters correspondent, for Jeff J, our special guest tonight, I'm Don Delarente. This has been episode 181 of the WrassleCast. Please stay tuned for the parting promo.